that helped generously fund this project to keep Tony Rosenthal's legacy alive and keep the cube spinning in Astor Place for all to enjoy. And we should be joined by Councilmember Rivera as well. So, without much further ado, I will give you Commissioner Rodriguez of the New York City Department of Transportation, who oversees a wonderful public art program for all of New York to enjoy on DOT's many public spaces. So, thank you.
Let's give that a bit of applause. Come on. And, well, for the 8.6 million New Yorkers and an average of 50 million visitors that we have in our city, of only 350 square miles, that's what we have. And our streets compete for a lot of interest. But one of the most beautiful areas that we have at DOT that I will highlight a little bit further is our art division. You know, society has a big responsibility to give opportunity to the local artists to use our public spaces. So for me, as a former teacher for 15 years of social study, always committed to leave the legacy for the future generations, I think that supporting our artists is a big responsibility that we have. So I encourage all artists, New Yorkers and visitors, to come and look to DOT Art Division for opportunity for them to bring the sculptural piece of art in one of those public spaces that is under our great agency. It's here today to celebrate the Alamo Cube. Yes, it was missed, but we told everyone it will be back this summer after rest and refurbishment, and here it is. So thank you to everyone that worked so hard to make it happen. The Alamo Cube, which has spawned in this space dating back to 1967, is a true icon of not only its village and Astor Place, but of New York City and the United States. Millions of New Yorkers and visitors want to come here to Spain to take a photo of this great sculpture. So many can share stories of the first time they hung out here by the cube, and more memorable, the first time they spun it. But like with everything, wear and tear take their toll, and we realized a few years ago that it was time to give a cube a rest. And our bridges team, led by Paul, constructed a bracket to lock it in place and prevent it from spinning. This allowed it to remain in place in a safe manner, though perhaps a bit less fun. But we are committed to the safety of everything that we do in our city. And working with the art estate of the sculpture who created Tony Rosenthal, DOT was able to figure out a plan where the cube could be taken offsite and refurbished back into spinning ways. I would like to recognize Dave Petrie, director of the Tony Rosenthal Art Estate, for dedication to the project and for seeing it through step by step. The state has also generously funded this work. We will hear more from him in a little bit. And I would also like to thank my great friend, Commissioner of Cultural Affairs, Lori Combo, by the great job that she does for his work on this issue and in many other art projects. We are joining here today by the Assistant Commissioner for Public Art, Kendall Henry, who also will say a few words. As for the refurbishment itself, the work has done by the great Bristol art fabricators, and they are joining us here today as well to talk about how they improve the spinning mechanism. They last restored by Bach in 2005, so had deep history with this iconic sculpture. And because we hope for the Alamo Cube to be around for another 56 years for future generations to come and many more, I'm thrilled to note that our plaza partner here, the Village Alliance, has a great job to manage day-to-day maintenance of the sculpture and its surrounding. As we can see It's not only about the sculpture, it's about the farmers, it's about the residents, it's about many New Yorkers that have chosen to be one of the important destinations. Executive Director Scott Hobb is here to discuss the great work that they do with the maintenance not only of the sculpture but with the surrounding area. Thank you to our local elected officials for their continued support. We will be joined here today by local council member, my great friend, Kalina Rivera. Some details about this. The cube was removed on May 8th and we're still work diligent to get it back to working. Formed so it could be back here for the good part of the summer and certainly be here when our annual Summer Street occur again this August. Let's be ready for the Summer Street, the larger one that we have seen in New York City around the five boroughs. Not only Park Avenue is going to be going to 109 as we have done it in the previous year, but Summer Street going from Brooklyn Bridge to 125th of Harlem. We're going to the Bronx and Moshulu from Grand Concourse from Tremont to Moshulu Parkway, across Brooklyn, Queens, and yes, we also going to Staten Island. So to come back today, restoring this sculpture as we are ready to also do our 2023 Summer Street was very important for Mayor Eric Adams and myself. One perhaps unknown fact about DOT is that, as I said before, we had 23 works of art in our permanent art portfolio. And we had a cube in our jurisdiction since 2016. When people think about DOT, they think about bridges. Yes, we have 800 bridges and tunnels on the DOT. They also think about the Staten Island Ferry. Yes, we move the larger numbers of New Yorkers and visitors in this ferry. And yes, people think about sidewalk, people think about a street, open restaurant. But one of the most important areas that we also manage is our public art, that Nina also is here with us today doing a great job. So let's give Nina a big round of applause. In fact, we have over 30 projects on the way each year and have permitted over 400 since the program began in 2008. And we're inviting others, New Yorkers and visitors, to come and knock the door so that they also can bring the sculpture to our public space. At DOT, I would like to thank the Director of DOT, as I said before, Nina Marin, DOT Deputy Director of Urban Design, Nicholas Bennett, the first Deputy Commissioner, who is the best Deputy Commissioner that any agency may have, running my whole operation, Margaret Forgione, as well as our bridges and legal, who have all played major role in recent years on this project. In 1 minute, because Spanish is my native language, en español quiero decir de que hoy estamos aquí representando al alcalde Eric Adams, donde estamos devolviendo esta escultura que está puesta en este lugar desde 1965. Es importante para esta área, importante para la ciudad, es importante para todo el mundo, donde neoyorquinos y visitantes vienen a dar la vuelta a esta escultura que pesa toneladas. Invitamos a los artistas neoyorquinos y visitantes de que también tomen provecho de lo que está bajo nuestra agencia, que es el Departamento de Arte, que permite una oportunidad para que los neoyorquinos puedan también solicitar espacios donde ellos también puedan hacer aquí sus exhibiciones. A nombre de acá de Eric Adams, le damos las gracias a todo el equipo que ha trabajado con nosotros para reponer, arreglar esta gran escultura que una vez más le devuelve la oportunidad que cualquier neoyorquino venga, le dé la vuelta pesando esto toneladas. First, I would like to call my colleague from Mayor Eric Adams' administration, Assistant Commissioner Kendall Henry of the Department of Cultural Affairs.
Thank you, Commissioner. I bring greetings from our Commissioner, Lori Cumbo, from the Department of Cultural Affairs. As part of the administration and the Assistant Commissioner for Public Art, I get asked very often what makes a great work of public art, what makes a successful work of public art. And sometimes it's hard to determine, but you know when a work of art was supposed to be up for 6 months, but over 50 years, it's still here. You know when a piece is damaged, not from vandalism, but from love of use. You know when it becomes an urban legend. Is there a man living in the cube? And you know when other artists are using the image in their own artwork. If you go to the 8th Street subway station in the Mosaic, you see a lot of the cube represented in the Tim Snell's artwork. So this, I dare say, is one of the most successful works of art in New York City. There, I said it. And there's only one thing left, is to thank people. So I want to thank DOT, I want to thank the Commissioner, I want to thank the Tony Rosenthal Art Estate, and I want to thank Village Alliance for keeping this one of our core icons in the city. And I want to thank you all. This could not have happened without the support of this community. So thank you.
Thank you, Kendall. Now I would like to call up David Petrie, representing the organization that made this happen. The Tony Rosenthal Art Estate, of course, your name in memory and honor of the beloved sculptor and artist.
Good morning, thank you. As we're all gathered here at Astor Place this morning to welcome back the monumental, renewed, refreshed, revived Astor Place Cube, I can certainly feel the energy in the plaza, this revived energy. Thank you. As it was 56 years ago, Tony Rosenthal had a vision and then a plan to create this sculpture. About a year and 3 months ago, the partnership developed between the Department of Transportation and the Rosenthal Estate. And together we created this vision, and we came up with a plan to restore what we see here today. And the estate can't be as grateful as I sound. I'm so excited. I want to say thank you to everyone. And it's our pleasure to have done this for New Yorkers, visitors from near and far, that one day they can come. And today we're all going to get to spin the cube. Thank you.
Thank you. We are also joined by Seabrick Bertie, co-CEO of Bertie Art Fabrication, to talk about the great work that his firm has done over the year to keep Alamo Cube spinning.
Hi, and thank you very much. I just want to thank the City of New York, DOT, as well as Dave Petrie and the Tony Rosenthal Estate for recognizing Versteeg Art Fabricators to oversee this restoration. I'm very proud and honored to say that I'm part of a second generation now to honor and steward over this very important work of artwork. My late father, Peter Versteeg, oversaw the restoration in 2005. As well, he cut his teeth as a sculpture fabricator in the 70s. Although he started after this piece was fabricated, he did work with Mr. Rosenthal on several projects while he was working at a company called Lippincott. Lippincott was the original company that underwrote the fabrication of the original cube. I also want to thank my dedicated staff, as well as my sister and co-founder, Emily Versteeg, for all the hard work and dedication that everyone gave to this record-breaking timeline of success to restore this piece. I was asked to give a little bit of technical information, and I'll make that very brief. The spinning mechanism, or the bushing, is made of Teflon, which was a design that my father designed in 2005 and worked very successfully for many years. And in this particular update of the work, that bushing, or that Teflon washer, it's a self-lubricating plastic, and it's underneath and inside this small dish that you can now see at the base of the sculpture. When that Teflon washer wears out, the cube will likely stop spinning because it'll be grinding metal on metal, and it's quite simple to restore and refresh the Teflon washer. The cube, we wouldn't need a rigger next time. We'll be able to lift up the cube just a few inches, and the washer installed in 2 halves. It's sort of like a donut in 2 halves that wrap around the pole which the cube is suspended from. Thank you very much. Enjoy the cube.
So we had 2 great partners with you to say a few words, and then we're going to go into the action. here talking about the continued great partnership to keep the Cube, Astor Place dissolved in the Greenwich Village as a whole, maintenance the Village Alliance Executive Director Scott Hobbs.
Hi, everyone. I'm Scott Hobbs, the Executive Director of the Village Alliance. I want to welcome you to Astor Place. We're so excited to have this piece back. I just want to thank the estate of Tony Rosenthal. Cynthia Rosenthal is here as well. I want to thank you. This piece basically is the most iconic part of our neighborhood in the most central, amazing public space that we have the honor of maintaining. I also want to thank Prestige who restored the Cube, the Department of Transportation, and the Department of Cultural Affairs. I also want to invite you guys. We are having a party on Sunday. We're working with Joe's Pub. We will be celebrating the Cube's return, and there's going to be dancing and music and food. It'll be amazing. It's on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. And always enjoy the farmers market. It's here every Tuesday until November. Thank you so much.
Let me call someone that I can tell you we share so many years. You know, in my previous role as a council member who used to chair the Committee of Transportation, in reimagining the use of public space. A lot of the new things that we are putting in place right now came out from a lot of conversation that we had before COVID. But COVID allowed us to think outside the box, and that's why we have seen a lot of new ideas turning into new projects. So let me call a good friend, a great partner promoting public space, Kalina Rivera.
Good morning. What a great morning it is today. I want to thank all of the neighbors, every single person who helped make this happen. Of course, the Rosenthal Estate. I was just kind of reflecting and thinking about this Cube, and I grew up in this neighborhood. So I was able to grow up here, hang out right by this Cube, and enjoy such a spectacular piece of art. It is truly like our Leaning Tower of Pisa. Its attraction almost happened by accident, but it is lasting. It is so iconic, and people come here from all over the world just to stand next to it, to take a picture with it, and of course to give it a spin, which I'm excited to do very, very shortly. So to know that this is back in its rightful place, where visitors, neighbors, families, and of course people purveying the farmers market can come and enjoy it, makes me feel especially proud to represent Astor Place and this legendary location, again, reclaiming public space because it can be a place for art, for interaction, forever. So thank you so much, and congratulations to everyone.
Thank you. Before taking a few questions, I'd like to acknowledge the great job of the whole team. Let's give them a big round of applause. The guy who put the sound together from Will and the rest of the team, great job. And the other men here and the women who they do a great job. Man, let's take a nice photo right now, but they are the ones who've been working here overnight to be sure that we also are able to hold this press conference. Guy, 1983, I came here to wash dishes, not far from here, West 4th and 6th Avenue. You know, our O. Henry restaurant. So for me to be here as a commissioner with the great leaders with this, represent the opportunity that when we give to any immigrant, it pays back. You know, we return the benefit to our city. So for me to be here again, bringing back the Alamo Cube as a commissioner when I was here, not so far from here in 1983, washing dishes. It's a testimony on how we New Yorkers, you know, especially in this area, you know, has a lot to celebrate. So with that, I'm ready to take a few questions.
Very quick Q&A. We've got to do some more stuff.
A plan for that area. Again, like, I guess we'll elaborate what I say. We're listening to the community. Myself, a former chairman of the Committee on Transportation, working with great former colleague, Kalina Rivera. You know my record, and also the commitment of Mayor Eric Allen. It's about improving safety. New York City has never seen. As a 18% in my budget last year. He also